Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 7. My name is Melda Kawati. Will be delivered the first explanation. The second one is Julia Kartika. And the last is Asifa Yasmin Amini. Today we are going to explain about the time and space patterns. So let's start. The first one is time pattern. Time is very important for American people. They very appreciate of time and have activity schedule. So they are not to waste time for something unimportant for them because time is money. For example, if they will meet someone, they must making promise in order that activity has planned not disturb. When they go to party or go to meeting, they comes on time, not late. They will spend time in weekend or if they have free time. In the times patterns, we have six aspect. The first one is promptness. Promptness is important in American business, academic, and social setting. The importance of punctuality is taught to young children in school. For the business aspect, pupils are late to job interview, appointments, or classes. They are often viewed as unreliable and irresponsible in the business world because time is money. And then the second one is academic. Respecting deadlines is also important in academic and professional circles. It is expected that deadlines for class assignment or business reports will be made. And then the third is social setting. Calling on the telephone if one is going to be more than a few minutes late for scheduled appointments is considered polite and it's often expected. And then the second one is division of time. Common question in American English reveal this concrete quality as though time were a possession. Do you have any time? Can you get some time for this? How much free time do you have? Generally, Americans are taught to do one thing at a time and may be uncomfortable when an activity is interrupted in business. In business, the careful scheduling of time and the separation of activities are common practices. The treatment of time as a position influences the way time is carefully divided. The idea that there is a time and place for everything extends to American social life. The third one is future time. Cultures tend to favor either a past, present, or future orientation with regard to time. A future orientation encompassing a preference for change is character of American culture. The society encourages people to look to the future rather than to the past. Technological, social, and artistic trends change rapidly and affect people's lifestyle and their relationship. In a society where change is so rapid, it's not uncommon for every generation to experience a generation gap. Some Americans believe that the benefit of the future orientation are achievement and progress which enable them to have a high standard of living. And then next is linear time. For an American, time is truly money. In a profit-oriented society, time is precious. Americans are people of action. They cannot bear to be idle. The past is over, but the present you can seize, parcel and package and make it work for you in the immediate future. The Americans are not the only ones who sanctify timekeeping, for it is practically a religion in Switzerland and Germany too. These countries, along with Britain, the Anglo-Saxon world in general, the Netherlands, Austria, and Scandinavia, have a linear vision of time and action. They suspect, like Americans, that time is passing without decision being made or action being performed. This group are also monochronic. And then next is multi-active time. Southern Europeans are multi-active rather than linear active. The more things they can do at the same time, the the happier and the more fulfilled they feel. They organize their time and lives in an entirely different way from American, Germans, and the Swiss. And then they consider the present reality to be more important than appointments. In their ordering of things, priority is given to the relative thrill or significance of each meeting. So please pay attention to this piece of story. Then the business we have to do and our close relations are so important that it is irrelevant at what time we meet. The meeting is what counts. But Germans and Swiss cannot swallow this as if offends their sense of order, of tidiness, and of planning. And then the last one is cyclic time. Both the linear active northerner and the multi-active Latin think that they manage time in the best way possible. In some Eastern cultures, however, the adaptation of humans to time is seen as viable alternative in these cultures. Time is viewed neither as linear nor even relationship related, but as cyclic. Each each day the sun rises and sets, the seasons follow one another, the heavenly bodies revolve around us. People grow and People grow old and die, but their children reconstitute the process. We know the cycle has gone on for 100,000 years and more. The past formulates the contextual background to the present decision about which in any case, as Asians, they must think long term. Their hands are 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 tied in many ways. Americans see time passing without decision being marked or action performed as having been was it. Asians do not see time as racing away, unutilized, un, unutilized in a linear future, but coming around again in a circle where the same opportunities, risks, and dangers will represent themselves when people are so many days, weeks, or months wiser. And then next will be delivered by Julia Kartika.
My name is Julia Kartika, and I want to continue Melda's explanation about cyclic times. In Buddhist culture, example like Thailand and Tibet, not only time but also life goes in a circle. Whatever we plan, however we organize our particular world, generation follows generation. The governments will succeed, and the ruler will succeed each other. Crops will be harvested, taxes will be paid, the sun and the moon will rise and set, and also stocks and shares will rise and fall. And then in Chinese, the Chinese, like most Asians, walk around the pool in order to make well-considered decisions, but they also have a keen sense of the value of time. This can be noticed especially in their attitude toward taking up other people's time, for which they frequently apologize. And then in Japanese, the Japanese have a keen sense of the unfolding or unwrapping of time. In Japan's conformist and carefully regulated society, people like to know at all times where they stand and where they are at. This applies both to social and business situations. And then back to future. In the linear active, industrialized Western cultures, time is seen as a road along which we proceed. Life is sometimes referred to as a journey. Death is often referred as the end of the road. And we imagine ourselves as having traveled along the part of the road that is behind us or the past. and we see the untrodden path of the future stretching out in front of us. Cyclic time is not seen as a straight road leading from our feet to the horizon, but as a curved one which in 1 year's time will lead us to scenery and conditions very similar to what we experience at the present moment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Asifa Yasmin Amini. I will explain about architectural differences and privacy and the use of space. The first one is architectural differences. Architecture is the quintessential cultural time capsule. Not only does it reflect the cultural identity of the present, it's also the embodiment of how its creator wish to project their image to the future. And then, when we travel abroad, we are immediately impressed by the many ways buildings, homes, and cities that are designed. The division and organization of space lend character and uniqueness to village, town, and cities. Yet, architectural differences may also cause confusion or discomfort for the traveler. The separation of space inside home may also vary from culture to culture. For example, a French architect was asked to design Punjab, the capital city in Chandigarh, India. He decided to plan the city with centralized shopping centers, 5, which require public transportation and movement away from the village center. Eventually, the Indians stopped meeting each other socially in their small neighborhood. Apparently, the introduction of a non-Indian style of architecture affected some of the cultural and social patterns of those living in the city. And then, another examples of architectural differences. First, from Russia, or its Saint Basil Basilica. One has only to see the onion-shaped domes so prevalent in Russia architecture to understand how much religion influenced building design through Russia history. The union shape, similar to a candle flame, represent the flame of faith reaching up to the heaven. Although it was originally a crunch, but the Soviet Union confiscated it and transformed it into the museum until today. And then the second one is China, the Forbidden City. It's built in the early 5th century. China Forbidden City in Beijing is a cultural landmark that is one of the few remaining symbols of China, its imperial past. Their designs showcase the best of classical Chinese and East Asian architecture and was pivotal in influencing the development of the architectural styles that followed. And then the third is Italy, or Vatican City. Steeped in the centuries of religious and political history, the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church is the living monument of Italy's development. From over 1,000 years of papal states to its unification to the creation of the Vatican State. And the last one is Greece, or the Parthenon. As one of the oldest remaining man-made structure in the world, the Parthenon is more than just an example of classical Greek architecture. The temple was created to worship Athena, the patron goddess of ancient Athenians, and represent the classical period in Greek history, during which Athenians claimed cultural superiority. Its majestic columns and symmetrical forms celebrate the significant period and can still be seen in many modern-day buildings. I will explain about privacy and the use of space. People in the United States tend to achieve privacy by physically separating themselves from the others. For example, young American children learn the role of knock before enter, which teach them to respect others' privacy. Parents too often follow this rule prior to entering their children's room. And then the way space is used to enable the individual to achieve privacy. To build homes or to design cities is culturally influenced. For example, Dr. Howe summarized the relationship between individuals and their physical surroundings. That's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.